Good morning, Bulldogs, and welcome to Forward with Freytas. We have an opportunity to engage our stakeholders, the people that make RB the school that it is. Today, I'm with Ms. Wendy Cassens and Mr. Larry Forberg, two of our fine English teachers. Good morning, Ms. Forberg.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Cassens.
Hello.
So, Mr. Forberg, how long have you been here at RB?
I've been here for, I think, 24 years. I think it's 24, maybe 25. I'm not sure exactly.
Ms. Cassens, how about you?
I have been at RB for 29 years.
So you have to have a passion for education. What inspired you to be an educator?
Well, I have to say that I had nothing else to do. I had no other skills to offer this world, so I became a teacher of English. I had my degrees in English. I loved English. I loved studying English, but I wasn't certified to teach. I started substitute teaching and really enjoyed being in the classroom. And from there, I got into education, and I have not regretted it at all. So, yeah. Well, I like to write, yeah, so, yeah.
Ms. Cassens, how about you? What inspired you to become a teacher?
I was one of those kids who set up her stuffed animals in front of a chalkboard because I'm so old, and forced them to go to school. And I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, but it wasn't until high school that I decided that English was probably the only thing I could teach because language was not my forte. And I was politely asked out of the honors program in science classes, so English was probably the best bet.
In addition to your teaching roles, what other roles or responsibilities did you fulfill here at RB?
When I first started here, I was the sponsor of a hacky sack club, but it didn't last more than a year. It quickly folded. But after that, I coached cross country and track for about 12 to 15 years, depending on the sport. So I was cross country coach and track coach, and I really enjoyed coaching. Yeah, it was nice to extend myself beyond the classroom.
How about you, Ms. Cassens? What other roles have you taken on during your tenure here at RB?
When I was first hired, I was hired as a volleyball coach and assistant publications assistant, who I supported like Rouser and our literary magazine and Clarion. And then I also started coaching badminton. And then I would take leave positions when people had them in track and field, because like Mr. Forberg, I liked track and field. I have also been I was the instructional coach for English for 8 years, which was lovely. And I got to know my colleagues even more than I had already known them. I would like to say informally, Mr. Forberg has been a mentor to the English department because he is such a voracious reader. He also has helped us, I would say, change our curriculum in terms of what we read with kids.
What memorable moments or highlights would you like to share from your teaching experience here at RB? Mr. Forberg?
Memorable. Honestly, it's hard to just pinpoint one memorable moment. There's a lot of people, and I would say that totality, most memorable is I get to work with some really wonderful students on a daily basis. A student recently said to me, "You always seem so happy in class. Why are you always so happy?" It's like, because I enjoy what I do, and as I said, I work with terrific students on a regular basis.
How about you, Ms. Cassens?
We're going to sound very rehearsed, but I have always been grateful to get paid to talk about writing and reading and help students become a better version of themselves. Kind of my own memorable, there are a number of students who I see as adults who keep in contact that is important to me. But it's also then when you happen to hear someone say, "Oh, wait," you see someone out in public and they're like, "Wait, do you teach at RB?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Wait, I think you were my teacher." And then they don't need to necessarily remember me, but if they remember a little something, that's, I don't know, I just can't imagine picking one incident that makes it memorable, but I just am grateful that the district has allowed me to read and write and think with so many kids for all these years.
The emails that every once in a while pop up and "Oh, it's a student from 10 years ago saying, I just picked up a book and I thought about your class," or "I was watching a movie, I thought about film studies." So those emails are nice that when you receive them, because they're like, some people did remember what we were doing and they enjoyed it. So
I think something else is, it sounds, when you think about the number of students you've had, and then when a student emails you and says, "Hey, we're rereading this book in college," and I didn't realize how much we actually learned about the book and everything until I was outside of class. Like, that's the greatest compliment I think you can give any teacher, is that in retrospect, they realize what you did mattered.
And how would you like to be remembered, reflecting on all your years of teaching?
Well, you know, wow, remembered. I hope I did more good than harm in the classroom. I hope that I helped more than I hindered in the classroom. In the end, I want to be seen as kind of a kind, fair teacher. I know at times I failed. I know at times I was very successful. So I hope just to people were like, oh, he was a good guy. He was a good teacher. I learned something. Yeah.
And how about you, Ms. Cassens? How would you like to be remembered?
I hope that a student who thinks back on being in my class knows that I noticed that they were there, and that at the end of the day, they feel that they know where to go if they need something to uplift them, or they know where to go if they need to find something to figure out a question, and that at the end of the day, they think about one thing that went well.
And if I could just add, Mr. Forberg, I loved receiving your poems every day. You know, your love for reading was evident and felt throughout the entire building. And Ms. Cassens, your leadership working with as an instructional coach was felt as well. And the solutions you always brought forward. You were great to work with. Mr. Forberg, you guys will be remembered. And you guys will live on. You guys made RB the great school that it is. And this is Forward with Dr. Freytas.